Hello and welcome to the Recovery Oracle. My name is Veda and I am pleased to have you here in this space with me. I've got a lot coming through, channeling a lot, and I feel I need to make something clear right off the bat here. I call myself the Recovery Oracle because I work with people who are in drug and alcohol recovery, right? But my whole goal here is to take you out of recovery. My whole goal here is to help you overcome addiction and not identify as being in recovery any longer, as being an addict, being an alcoholic. And I need to speak my truth on that because I know that words are powerful. Everything that we speak, everything that we think, we are co-creating our reality with spirit, with our thoughts and our words, whether we are conscious of it or not. So by proclaiming my personal opinion, and what science has shown and what the divine keeps telling me is watch your words. Watch your words. So proclaiming out into the universe, when you go to meetings, saying, I'm so-and-so, I'm an alcoholic, you are limiting yourself. You're limiting your potential here on earth as a human being. You came to this earth and you went through addiction. Yeah, that did happen. But now that you're not drinking or using, free yourself of that title. Free yourself of those self-imposed limitations that keep you from connecting to who you inherently are as your God self. You are an aspect of God. We all are. You are an infinite being with unlimited power and potential, made of God, source, consciousness, love, light, energy. This is one tiny, tiny, tiny piece of the history of who you are as a soul. This is one lifetime of many you've lived. You've been a king, you've been a queen, you've been a healer, you've been you've been the captain of ships, you've been the leader of fleets, you have been a warrior, you've been to battle. You are not just an addict or an alcoholic. So I want to make it very clear that I call myself the Recovery Oracle to pull in people who are coming out of addiction. But the goal here, and what I'm dedicating the remainder of my life to, is helping people overcome addiction. How long does somebody stay in the hospital after they've had surgery when they're in recovery for an injury, right? They stay until they're well and they're healed and they're able to get up and leave. So when you're well and you're healed and you're able to connect with God and connect with who you are as God, you don't need to stay in the hospital anymore. That's what Source brought through. That's what I channeled through. They said, how long are you going to stay in the hospital after your injury? How long are you going to keep saying, I have a broken leg? You don't have a broken leg anymore. So all the healing that we've been through in this last year, a lot of us, this is Year of the Snake, it's shedding, right? And healing. When you're healing the heart space and you're cutting cords on relationships and limiting beliefs and deprogramming, you're deprogramming all of the learned and inherited behaviors and thoughts and ideas of what this life really is. When are we to the point where that's no longer the story we tell, and we get to create a new, more beautiful, more vibrant, colorful story? And I've got goosebumps on both shoulders right now. Hands of the divine on me, helping me get this message out. So I have always asked before I start that I speak the truth, that the truth comes from the divine through my heart space and out my mouth. And I have Chiron in Gemini in my 9th house, so I have deep woundings about truth telling and spirituality, and my Chiron wounding is in my 9th house of spirituality and philosophy and truth speaking, and it's in Gemini, so it's about communication with that. So at some point I was persecuted, possibly killed a horrific death for connecting others to their God self, connecting others to the truth of our interconnectedness and who we really are. And so in this lifetime, I'm healing that. And so I'm going to tell you exactly how it is. I'm going to speak the truth of our power. We are all powerful. We all have the ability to connect to universal wisdom and knowledge and the divine. And we all come into this world with gifts, with divine gifts of being able to see without sight, of being able to heal others just with our presence. We're healers. We're psychics, we're seers, we're mystical, magical, motherfucking gistical. So, like, it's just what I'm trying to say is, go to meetings. Yes, go to meetings for the fellowship. Go to meetings because that's expansive for your soul, connecting to others, and you can help heal them as well. But maybe rephrase when you state your name. Maybe say, I've recovered. Reframe it. Maybe say, I've recovered from alcoholism, or I've recovered from addiction. And recant that. Declare of your own free will out loud to your angels, guides, to God. Declare that you renounce the times that you said, I was an addict, I'm an alcoholic, I'm an addict. Renounce that, and then speak a truth behind it. Say, you know what, I'm not that, and I choose not to identify as that any longer because I understand that it's limiting me. And the truth is, I am an infinite soul having this life experience, and that is something that I experienced and went through. And I'm not choosing to take it as my identity anymore. If you feel like it, if you feel ready for that. If you don't feel ready for that, that's okay too. I'm glad you're here. I'm so grateful that you're here. And we're just going to bring through messages. And the more that you watch me, the more that I can help you unfold who you are. Maybe you will feel empowered to say that. Maybe right now you're not sure that you're done using, or you're done, like maybe you're not to that stage yet, and that's okay. We're all in different stages. I just want to personally tell you the truth of your power and who you really are. And I am a reflection of you, and I love you unconditionally, and I'm just grateful to have you here. So let's get going on things. That made my hands sweaty. Rolling I had a little smoky quartz ball here, trying to ground myself through that. Okay. Let's get started. The Lost Oracle wanted to come out, and this is a relatively new deck for me, so I might go to the guidebook for it, but let's see what angels and guides want to bring out through the Lost Oracle. It's a beautiful, beautiful cards, beautiful deck. They're amazing. So, okay. All right. Whew. It felt so good to get that out. All right. Angels and guides, what do you want us to know right now? Thank you. Oh, and this is I like referring to this as the ancestor deck too. That one wanted to come out. Stardust and soil, opposites attract. Stardust with a number 33, so we have a 6 here. See, I'm almost shaky. Stardust and soil, opposites attract. And I will be going to the opposite attract. This almost reminds me too of like reaching down. It's the Ouroboros, right? Is the never-ending story. It is eternity, and the hand reaching down like the divine and pulling that flower up. This is like bridging the divine with the physical, right? Stardust and soil. It's bridging heaven to earth. We'll get more on that. And what else? Anything else? Angels and guides. Lost. Choose joy as your compass. If you're feeling lost, choose joy as your compass. It's a number 22 or a 4, which is mastery. It's also foundations. On the bottom, we have ancestral alchemy with conjure your legacy. So we'll get more on this. Why we have choose joy as your compass, stardust and soil, opposites attract, and conjure your legacy. I want to say thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for taking the time to be here. And I hope this reading finds you well. I hope that you are choosing joy as your compass. If you're feeling lost right now, just follow what excites and ignites you. I was feeling this a little bit earlier. I was feeling some overwhelm with I put the pressure on myself with this eclipse coming up, and it's also like the day of a spiritual accounting for like the Kabbalah's culture, the Kabbalah. So Kabbalistic beliefs say it's a day of spiritual accounting, and so I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to like clear things out, like shine light on the shadows, like what else do I need to do to like just get everything lined up before this eclipse. And I realized, like, why am I making this work? And if it feels like work, then I need to take a break from it, and just create and play and find joy and keep my vibration high. Always be choosing joy as your compass. So we'll read about that one first. So it says, all right, that's the, okay. All right, so I don't need to read the whole story of the card, but it says, it is time for you to choose to explore a new place that calls to your soul, even if the path ahead seems obscured by shadows. Let the fear that tugs at your heart transform into flickers of excitement, the delicious anticipation of what lies beyond the familiar. As you traverse the unknown, remember that the journey itself is a teacher. Each step, each moment of uncertainty is a note in the song of your growth. You will hear the call of the castle on the mountain, symbolic of your aspirations, growing louder with every fearless stride. Let this knowledge put a smile on your face. This is not only a physical exploration, but a pilgrimage of the soul. Trust that the courage to take the first step is a gift to yourself and a beacon for those who are destined to walk beside you. In the realm of magic, the name Lost encapsulates the essence of this journey. All who wander are not lost, but are taking a delightful and joyful sojourn into the unknown. And while this indicates great new developments, it is also a reminder to take these a day at a time. As you stand at the threshold, not lost, but armed with thrilling excitement and a sense of joy for your upcoming adventure, know that the very act of choosing joy as your compass opens the door to great mysteries that will enrich the rest of your life, revealing not only the mysteries of the external world, but also illuminating the fascinating sacred landscapes within you. So all who wander are not lost. So maybe we are on the threshold of something right now. Maybe there is some of you are also feeling uncertain, unsure of what the future holds, and just, yes, chasing what excites and ignites you. That's what we're meant to do. That is expanding for our soul. And I've been in this kind of like hermitage pilgrimage the last 11 months doing all this healing, and I'm understanding now that what my soul wants, where the expansion and the growth of this next phase, this new era that we're moving into, can only come from experiences and connections to others. I can only do so much, soul searching and work on my own before, the opposite of addiction is connection. So connecting, and that's connecting to source, that's connecting to the divine, but that's also connecting in the 3D, because the 3D is although everything is more largely spiritual, our 3D, our connections to each other, we are soul family. We are all interconnected, and we are all going through similar but different things. But it's this like interwoven tapestry that makes a whole picture. So I'm just one thread. I need those other threads, and my soul craves that expansion and that adventure and that excitement of getting out and meeting people and doing things. So maybe I needed to say that for somebody here. Okay, let's look at stardust and soil. Okay, I am going to read the whole thing here because I want to read about I'm going to read the description for it too. The left hand that reaches through the Ouroboros is yours, and it reveals the profound truth that you are not merely a physical being navigating the material world. You are a spiritual entity having a temporary physical experience. Whoa, okay. As your ethereal fingers touch the flowering plant, the celestial and earthly unite in beauty, a harmonious expression of your dual nature. The Ouroboros, an ancient symbol of eternity, invites contemplation on the interplay between the temporal and eternal. Your journey through cycles of growth, decay, and rebirth reflects this dance of stardust and soil. Spirit and physical are opposites that attract and exist as witnesses to each other. Stardust and soil thus speaks to human relationships and offers that successful relationships can be forged between individuals who may seem completely incompatible. The key lies in recognizing, respecting, and embracing the inherent differences while coexisting to create a harmonious and transformative union, both in the physical realm and in the soulful space. In alchemy, the Ouroboros represents the unity of opposites and is deeply tied to the philosophical and spiritual pursuit of alchemists. And that's what we are in recovery. We're alchemists. As a symbol of wholeness, it also suggests, in overcoming. Let's call it overcoming. As a symbol of wholeness, it also suggests that the union of opposites completes a circle. Similarly, in a successful relationship, the coming together of two individuals with diverse qualities can create a sense of completeness and fulfillment. In a relationship that transcends the physical, two individuals complement and support each other's spiritual growth. Now is the time to examine your relationships and determine where friction can be useful and acceptance of differences empowering. Trust these differences that nurture your relationships, whether romantic, friendships, family, or workmates. This oracle's card speaks to your role as a conscious co-creator of your reality. The flowering plant and its journey from seed to bud to blossom to seed symbolizes the tangible outcomes of your intentions, highlighting the potency of your thoughts, emotions, and actions in sculpting your journey. Know this wisdom and see where you can trust differences around you and let your life proceed more harmoniously. Opposites attracting, that's that soul family. I talked about that in the last reading, that sometimes your soul family at first will be a little off-putting. There is like a magnetism there, but it's like your soul recognizes them, but if your human gets in the way, so don't let fear get in the way or take control. Don't let your survival mind lead. Let your intuition lead. And I heard something earlier today that a good way to tell the difference between your intuition telling you and your survival brain telling you something, is that you'll feel your intuition in your gut. You'll feel your mind and your thoughts, but you'll feel it either in your head or your stomach. So always follow the gut feelings. And then ancestral alchemy. So I'm going to read this one too, because this is very, very, very important. And I think that's like, this is what it's all about, you guys. We have House of Love, you shall be loved underneath. I love that. Okay, so let's see. All right. I'm going to read the whole thing. Ancestral alchemy witnesses moonlight meeting shadows as sacred transmissions between the living and the departed unfold. The woman engages in ritual to communicate with her ancestors, and she invites you to recognize the importance of acknowledging and venerating death. In some cultures, death is seen as a grand adventure, a transition rather than an end. It is revered, respected, and integrated into the natural flow of existence. And we have that whole death and rebirth of our addict self, dying away, right? Embracing this new self that isn't framed from the story. We have all parts light and dark, and of course addiction is part of our story, and it makes us be able to do what we do because we went through it. But letting it limit us is where that's what we're not supposed to. Anyways, okay. In modern Western society, where consumerism often shapes values, death is frequently feared and avoided. The quest for eternal life has led to perceiving death as an illness to be treated, a condition to be conquered. Consider the implications this has on the human condition. What is lost when the inevitability of death is denied? Ancestral alchemy serves as an invitation to walk alongside your ancestors, recognizing their influence and wisdom that echoes through time and through you. Engage in your own ritual of remembrance. Speak to your ancestors, ask questions, and offer them reverence. In doing so, you integrate their stories into your own, creating a mosaic of moments that spans generations. The wisdom of those who came before can guide you, illuminating the path forward with insights drawn from the vast reservoir of their collective experience. See, we have access to all the knowledge and wisdom of our ancestors, universal knowledge and wisdom. So getting in touch with our ancestors, honoring them, what they've been through. I know there's been a lot of healing of the ancestral line, but not necessarily healing all the limiting beliefs and the things we inherited from them, their traumas and problems. But what gifts did we receive from them? What talents and abilities and special things do we have that we inherited from them? The way we act and move in the world. We are all made up of a conglomerate of many, 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 many people. It takes two people to make one person, two people to make that one person before that. We're all made of so many people and have so it's just very dynamic. The Ring of Skulls symbolizes not just the end of a life, but also the enduring spirit that transcends physical form. Your ancestors faced challenges, overcame obstacles, and left behind a legacy of resilience. In acknowledging their strength, you tap into a well of courage that resides within you. Death in this context becomes a testament to the endurance of the human spirit and a test that your actions, choices, and the way you navigate life contribute to the ongoing narrative of your lineage. Ancestral alchemy represents a sacred calling, a mystical and enchanting responsibility to spiritually safeguard the future of your bloodline. You may like to sanctify this calling with a ritual of your own creation. Excuse me, sorry about that. Trust that your intentions and the power of ancient magic will bring appropriate good fortune to your family's bloodline for generations to come, right? And that kind of brings me, how many lifetimes have we gone through addiction and had this life, but also how a lot of our parents were addicts, our grandparents were addicts and alcoholics, and how far back does it go, and when are we going to not cap it off just by quitting drinking and drugging, but no longer identifying with that and not letting that even be, end it. The buck stops here. We're all God. We're all God, source, consciousness, beautiful, unlimited beings. So let's bring that into the story. Let's teach that to our children. Let's teach them their power, not their limitations. I really love that the ancestors came through, and I call this the ancestor deck. And this deck has a lot of I have all this Celtic family that my dad didn't know who his real dad was, and we found out that we're Celtic and tribal, and that's very they went through a lot. All cultures all over the world went through a lot, and we've gone through a lot, but I think of like the Celts were very, very much spiritual, very, very much into the elements, into the earth magic, into the interconnectedness of the earth and us and the stars and the astrology and the healing and the witchy woo-woo and the shamanism and the mystical. And what gifts did I inherit from them that are just have been sitting dormant, and they've been waiting for me, for somebody like me to show up and embrace that side of me and bring it back out and share it with the world. What are your inherent gifts? Where do you come from? Who are you at a soul level? So, all right, let's get into some tarot on that note. This is beautiful. So it looks, just following your joy, following your heart, opening up to interactions with people, because we can only do so much healing on our own, and it's time to let the people in. Maybe you do have a good group of friends. You're already doing that. I started going to this spiritualist church where they're mediums, and they speak to crossed over loved ones, and after church they have an unfolding class where you can kind of tap into your own psychic abilities and exercise that, and it's really cool because it's like this sweet little old-timey chapel that is very much like reminiscent of my growing up in strict Christian, like my mom's side of the family is apostolic and Amish and Mennonite, and so I grew up in very conservative, so it's like that, but it's this sweet little chapel, and they sing hymns, but they sing hymns about how their souls are infinite and how we're all connected to each other, and then they have the mediums come through and talk to everybody in the church about their loved ones that are there with them and what they want them to know. It's beautiful. It's called Spiritualist Church of the Comforter. It's very cool. So, all right, let's get into tarot. Angels and guides, can we do a Celtic cross tarot, please? So, first section representing the collective and how they are showing up right now. And I'm going to get all these out, and then I'll tell you a story. First card, please. Thank you. Queen of Pentacles. Grounding into the earth, crossing that, the Chariot. Beautiful. Wow. That's cool. That's really cool. All right. We have the Queen of Pentacles, and the complementing energy is the Chariot. So I'll explain more of that. Crossing, please. Wow. So, being really grounded and nurturing to your physical vessel, but also there's some victory coming in here. There's some forward momentum, and there's been a change in your thought process because somehow, so you're taking off because of it. It's all because there's this change in the way that you speak, the way that you think, the way some ideas that you have. What's underlying, please? Being very nurturing to yourself right now, very grounded, handling what you need to in the physical, but you're also motivated, very, very motivated by your spiritual beliefs, your chariot. Like the chariot is the soul's vehicle taking off. So it's forward momentum driven by spirit. In the subconscious, you have the tower. So some old ways of being, something happened that has changed your perspective on things, changed your ideas of how things work, or this is going to happen soon. And in the recent past, please. Wands. Had a fire within you, maybe doing some research on something or understanding. You're showing up, understanding your assignment. It's like a new discovery, or a new energy coming in and supporting this. And what's crowning, please? Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, wow. Legacy. Legacy, stability, like this is generational wealth, stability all around. This is also ancestry, and from life to life. This is tying into this. So it seems like somebody is honoring their ancestors, their lineage, understanding the connection that their family has on how you're going about in the world. In the near future, please. Yeah. Hanged One. This is, well, it's enlightenment. It's also it's having this looking from the eyes of God, having a new perspective on things, a higher up perspective on things in the near future. What else do you want them to know about themselves? Five of Wands. Like you're changing energetically. There could be some conflict that you have to stand up and defend yourself, or you have to defend your truth. We'll get more into that. Environment. I take it just numerologically, and the 5, it's like a change of your energy. It's a change, your spirit's changing, your passion, a change in your passions or your ideas. No, it's changing your passions, your energy, your creativity. Okay, environment, please. 7 of Swords. It's in the reverse. It's like about strategy. Maybe not having a strategy. Complexity. Okay. Let's get it out. What they don't see coming. New love. New love. A new love. A new like new adventure. A new adventure in love, maybe a new loving relationship, a new friendship, a new opportunity to connect with others. What's the overall outcome? 10 of Swords in reverse. It's a high level of understanding. It's completion of a thought process. Okay, can we clarify that, please? The 10 of Swords. Blocks lifted, dropping your masks, allowing. It's healing, it's completed, it's trust. Having trust is taking you out of that stabbed in the back feeling, and you're able to connect with others. Okay, all right, let's unpack this. Sorry about that. Okay. Wow, we have like emotionally the highest emotional fulfillment on the bottom. This is just like, this is love and rainbows and sunshine. This is family, connection to others, ultimate happiness. This is your garden in full bloom. This is abundance and prosperity in every aspect, but especially in the heart space. This is like the highest level of love and emotional fulfillment. And then we have, okay, so it looks like the Queen of Pentacles is very grounded energy. So we have the Queen of Pentacles with the Chariot. So very grounded, nurturing who you are, nurturing the earth, connecting to the earth. The Queen of Pentacles is very much connected to the earth and to the 3D. But with the Chariot here too, it's like there's this spiritual takeoff happening. So somebody is understanding this is basically like you're being led by spirit, you're being guided by spirit through earth, through the physical, but you're using like spirit as your compass, spirit as your vehicle to traverse the physical realm. And that's all coming because you have there's a change in your thought process. So the Five of Swords, and the picture here is of a little boy that understands that he controls this butterfly's life, right? So the 5, it's understanding the control you have, but are you going to use it for good, or are you going to like walk away from things that are unnecessary? In the traditional Rider-Waite tarot, it's a guy that's walking away from a sword fight, and he's just like, it's not worth my time. Or he's accepting that he doesn't know. In this, it's like this kid understands that he has control over this butterfly's life, and it's like he's, you can't tell if the kid is sinister, if he's, going to set the butterfly free, or if he's going to hurt it. Basically, this is, at the 5, we have a change in the mind space, in your mindset. So there's this change of your mindset that is allowing you to be led by the spirit through your physical world. And in the subconscious, we have a tower happening. So this is things that were never meant to last, that weren't built on truth. Anything not built on truth will crumble. So this is like things that weren't built on solid foundations of truth, love, and light are crumbling away in your subconscious. So subconscious limiting beliefs and thoughts are crumbling away right now. So this is very good. It's a great place to have a tower. Towers are always for the better, because only what is real, what is true, what is from love and solid will remain. All else will fall away. So this is a great place to have a tower in the subconscious, where a lot of our learned beliefs and behaviors and limits come from, our traumas and things that have been controlling our lives, that were never supposed to be our story, that aren't true, that aren't real, that are illusions, fears. And then in the recent past, or supporting this, is the Page of Wands. So this is like a spark of creativity. This is a new spark, a new energy coming in, a new a new idea, and it's like an aha moment you had, and a way of showing up for yourself. The Page of Wands in the other decks, he's loud, he's being who he is, he's very authentic. So this is like showing up in your authenticity, instead of not somebody who is true to who you are. So that's what's supporting this. You're showing up as your authentic self, understanding your role in your job. She's gathering wood to build this fire. She understands that the wood needs to be dry, the wood needs to be perfect. She takes her job seriously, and she knows that the fire is dependent on her, on her picking the right wood and coming through and doing her job and showing up. To create the fire, to create the outcome that she wants, or to help to warm everybody else, she has to show up and do her job. And then crowning this is the Ten of Pentacles. So this is definitely an ancestral. This is definitely linked to ancestry, and you can see as the older hand is passing on to the younger hand, it's legacy, it's wisdom passed down, and that's what's crowning this reading, is your passed down ancestral wisdom. What have you learned from your ancestors that's guiding you spiritually in the physical world, and crumbling these towers underneath? This tower is directly underneath. So crowning, we have the ancestry, and in the subconscious, anything that is not real and solid is falling away. So this can be part of the ancestral limits that were instilled upon us, and only taking their wisdom and their gifts and healing the things that they went through, the things that they experienced through our own lives. And in the near future, you have clarity. This is clarity, this is enlightenment, this is a higher understanding. And I don't use that term enlightenment lightly, but that's what this is bringing, is this higher understanding. You're seeing things from the eyes of God, from a higher perspective, from a different way. And that's bringing change into your energy. Your energy is recalibrating. This is bringing change into your spiritual world, into your energetics. The way you go about and the way you move on a soul level is changing with the Five of Wands. And this can see they're fighting. There's conflict here, right? Because the five is about change, but I'm not seeing this. I'm seeing this definitely numerologically. And wands are about spirit, wands are about energy, wands are about your actions. So this is a change in the way you act, the way you show up spiritually, the energy, how there's like a recalibration of your energy happening here. And it's like you're letting go of this. So the Seven of Swords is like complex thoughts. It's a complex headspace. It's a card of strategy. This can also be in your environment. You could be surrounded by some. This is a card of a lie. They call this card the lie. And I don't always take it that way, because this guy you can't tell if he's expecting somebody to break into his house and he's armed up, or if he's spying, if he's ready to go into somebody's house. But it's often a card of dishonesty, and it's showing up in your environment space. It is showing up in the reverse. So it's like a truth. It's understanding the truth, understanding your truth, and the strategy behind that. What that means for how you move forward in your life. What you don't see coming is a Page of Cups. So this is like a new loving opportunity coming in, an opportunity for adventure, led from the heart space. And I love this version of the Page of Cups because they're on that boat and he is literally reading the map of a heart. It's an anatomical heart, and he's charting the best course for this voyage that they are on, led by their hearts. The cup is all about being heart-led. The cups are emotions and our heart space. And so you've got like this new adventure. The pages are new. This is some new heart-led adventure that you're not seeing coming. And the overall outcome for it is the Ten of Swords in reverse. So this is the Ten of Swords there's two in this deck. There's one that is the highest level of wisdom and like completion. This is the one of hurt and pain, and what the words and the things that other people have done to you. And, is that guy coming to help him? Is he going to walk right by him? But this is in the reverse. So it's like you've completed a cycle and you're understanding people's words and their actions and hurts don't have any control over you anymore. And it was clarified by the Two of Swords, so you can let down your guard of people aren't out to hurt you anymore. You can let down your guard. You can show up as your authentic self and come from a place of love. You can open up to new relationships, to new people. It's safe for you to do that. So that's the overall outcome there. And this is all guided and led by your ancestors. Or wisdom, understanding. It's guided, it's led by you. You are healing your ancestral line through this work that you're doing. You have to tell me if this resonates with you. All right, I'm trying to figure out how do we wrap this up. Okay, Shaman Stream. Yeah. I wasn't going to this deck, but I had the decks. I put the decks out I think I'm going to use, and then it doesn't always go that way. So let's see what Shaman Stream has to say. Angels and guides, I'd just like one or two, please, to wrap this up. Angels, guides, ancestors. When I say guides, I do mean my ancestors as well. Okay, from the Shaman Stream, just one to three cards, please, total. Most important for this reading. Thank you. Spiritual narcolepsy. Yeah. Remembering who you are. Wow. Wow. Anything else? Revelation. Yeah. Unmarked trail. On the bottom we have repairing the veil. So this is repairing the veil. This is repairing your ancestry. It does say forgiveness in small letters, but this is repairing the veil, whatever you're doing. This is repairing your legacy. We have the galactic mushroom with the divine matrix, understanding the interconnectedness of everyone and everything. That is our ancestry, that is our earth, that is our spirits, that is us all being an aspect of God as the galactic mushroom. We have unmarked trail with revelation. Coming to this understanding. This is an unmarked trail. This is uncharted territory. This is an unmarked trail is a trail that you had to find and discover on your own, right? Nobody could do this for you. This is work that you've done on your own and figured out. And spiritual narcolepsy, fallen angel, you're understanding the grander spiritual aspect of everyone and everything. We're going to read about this. Okay. Okay. And this could be, okay, so falling unconscious, spiritual narcolepsy. You are being cautioned now not to fall asleep or go unconscious. You have been flying above the strife and suffering of the world in angelic bliss. However, you risk being seduced by the beauty and comfort of your own situation and losing track of your aspirations, your wings. As you fall, you pick up speed, heading toward the trees below and a possible nasty landing. Remember that all you need to do to stop being a falling angel is spread your wings and halt your descent and then find an updraft again. Do not be seduced by fallen angels, your supposed friends and companions who are ready to use you for their pleasure and have only their own interests in mind. As you soar once more in flight, receive the gift of the fallen angel as an invitation to study the forest from above the trees. In other words, to analyze your situation from a higher perspective without being entangled in its thorny branches. Once you understand what needs to be done, head back to your lofty heights and stand by for the right moment. Action you take now may backfire. Stay conscious and wait until you are guided to change. You will know when the time is right. Getting a higher perspective, that's the stardust and soil, that's the hangman. Yeah, that's all of it. Okay, unmarked revelation. So, let's see. Spiritual narcolepsy, don't go to sleep. While flying around with angels. Okay, this is an unprecedented experience, a discovery, a revelation. You are called now to embark on a sacred journey. The Arthurian knights, in their quest for the Holy Grail, had to make sure to take an unmarked trail that no one ever followed, or they would not accomplish their goal. Likewise, you must enter the darkest forest of your soul via a route as yet unidentified to find what you seek. The manicured paths will bring you only temporary pleasure and later great pain. Stop it. You already know there is no reward at the end of the road you are following. You are only killing time. Pause, breathe, and commit in your heart to a sacred endeavor. Vow to not look for old solutions that may have worked without past challenges. Get out of character. Try the outrageous and keep your quest private. Now is not the time to speak of the voice that called you to embark on the unmarked trail. That time will come. The unmarked trail can be a sign that you have already made a choice, even if you do not want to acknowledge it. Be at peace with what your heart knows to be true. Your heart has already been made up, and your mind will follow. Pack lightly, taking with you only essential beliefs that you know to be trustworthy under all circumstances. The universe has your back. Coming to some sort of big revelation here. Having a different understanding of the pain that you've gone through, and trusting and allowing the love in. Okay, and then let's read about the galactic mushroom and I'll let you go, okay? So, the divine matrix, the intricate complexity of life. You might have been thinking and acting like you were the only one in the dream creating your life. The galactic mushroom arrives as a playful yet potent reminder that you need to get with your higher power. The universal laws are not for your benefit only. The law of attraction does not exist just to serve up your desired outcome. The matrix of consciousness, called Source, or God, Spirit, and many other names, is intricately woven into life. There is so much complexity that the human mind cannot comprehend all the moving parts. It's impossible to see beyond what you already know, just as the head of a mushroom is clearly visible above the soil, but not the living biome below. The thread-like mycelium of fungi form vast, intricate networks underground, connecting different life forms with one another in a kind of internet of the plant kingdom. Imagine the divine matrix serving the same way, connecting the individual consciousness with that of the divine. The galactic mushroom reminds you that your dreams and desires are heard. This is a call for faith and trust. Whatever intention you hold consistently with hope and faith first manifests in the unseen realms. Whether or not you can see it working on your behalf, eventually you will see the evidence play out in the serendipitous events that work in your favor, seemingly outside of the law of cause and effect. Your most beautiful results are being birthed right now, not just for you, but for the highest good of all. So whatever you're creating, whatever you're working on manifesting, your intentions and where you're setting your focus, realize that yes, God, the universe, they want to give it to us. They want us to all have our heaven on earth. But there's a lot that goes into making sure that that is for everybody else's highest and greatest good too. And understanding just how we affect it's the butterfly effect, right? Every little choice, thought, word, decision. And that's not to scare you, because obviously there's room for being human. It's just making you aware of your thoughts. And so when you have those like limiting thoughts of, oh, I'll never do that, or how could I do that, you're creating that limited reality. So think of yourself as the God self that you are, as unlimited, start telling yourself that with affirmations and meditations. A big thing that I've done, every night I listen to hypnosises or subliminals that are either about manifestation or reminding me of my self-worth, or limited ideas about the self, or gratitude, or whatever my focus is that day, or whatever thing that I'm kind of struggling with. I listen to a nighttime meditation, subliminal, or hypnosis about it, and I go to sleep to one of those every night. And that's how I've deprogrammed my mind to make space for the new truths of who I really am, and the new ideas, and new higher understanding of myself, of you, of all of us as the I am that we are as one. Thank you so much for being here. If you would like a private reading, a custom-made meditation or subliminal, or some physical personal training done, or just to leave a gratuity. Gratuities are comments too. The comments really, really help the algorithm, help me get the messages out to a wider scope of people all over the world. Feel free to see the Buy Me a Coffee link in the description box or on my channel page for all of my services. If nothing else, just hit that like button. That helps me a ton, and I greatly appreciate it. And I greatly appreciate you spending the last 56 minutes and 16 seconds with me. So thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.